So, hello, dear orienteering friends. It's a pleasure to be here, so thank you for inviting us, and I'm happy to see also the logo of EUSA. I saw somewhere on the panels of the invitation of this assembly, and I'm really proud that I see that, and when I see this community, it really makes us feel good to be part of it. So just a fun fact from my side, I've never been in touch with orienteering, so helpfully and thanks to Dusan, we are for the first time now getting in touch and trying to know the sport. And generally in my life, I'm not very oriented. So I think you could help me with some advices how to orient myself in the future. And if you have, I don't know, some tools, I saw some company from compasses here or maps, I'd be happy to have one of those to find my way always to the General Assembly of the Orienteering Federation. So what we will present today is a bit about European University Sports Association, and also we will touch bases on what we organize in the next year, how we will cooperate, hopefully, and what is there in the meantime in the university world. It's a good continuation after a great presentation by Carl. Thank you very much. Since we go from school to university, so it's kind of a evaluation. So a few things about EUSA. We are a relatively young organization founded in 1999 in Vienna in Austria. We have 45 country members, and we are affiliated member of the World University Sports Federation, FISU. And also we have our headquarters in Zurich in Switzerland and our branch office in Slovenia. So what we organize is, in terms of the sport events, we organize biannual European University Championships and Games, and also there are several cups or patronage events, so that events that we give patronage and are organized under our name. Also different educational events, seminars, conventions, conferences, etc. And different projects that we usually develop with either our country members or universities that participate in our events, so also maybe some new opportunities within orienteering could arise in the future. This is our team, just a little bit about the structure, and our partners, many of the partners that now we have in the list, and within those partners we're happy to have International Orienteering Federation as one of them. Carl already mentioned, and I think what we represent is very similar to what school federation represents, and this is more than just sport, it's education, and I think it's very important that we all emphasize it within school community, but also within universities community, because those students that usually participate in our events, they should take some lessons also regarding education, academical life, but also social and cultural life. So we try to engage different aspects of the organization in order to make the event more than just sport. In terms of our main events that we organize, first I'll just say a few words about the championships. So we started in 2001 with only 2 championships, and you can see how rapidly we grew in terms of the championships. We organized 23 already in 2019, and this could even go to 25 in 2021, but I will later on just say a bit more about the bidding procedure. This growth is also visible in the numbers. So as you can see, in 2001, 2 sports, 250 participants, and only 9 countries. By 2017, we reached 43 countries who participated, more than 4,000 participants in 19 sports, and obviously this will grow in the next years because the numbers of sport also grew. Yes, again, just showing that also the number of teams have grown. So as you can see, from it reached more than 700 teams who competed in 2017. This is the list of our events in 2019. So as you can see, Dusan is not just the technical delegate for EUSA in 2019, he is also the organizer of the first event. And I think this was our safest policy to do, to be in the safe hands and to make sure that there is no risk in organization. We decided that Olomouc is the first championship that will be organized in the EUSA history. And we are convinced that Dusan, with his expertise and knowing the community, which is the most important, because this community will come from the orienteering federations, And knowing this community, having the expertise, we are sure of success in 2019 with Olomouc. A few important facts regarding 21. We will open the applications on November 2018. We will close them in February 2019. So by March, when we have our executive committee meeting, beginning of March, we will announce and nominate the next hosts of 2021. So this will potentially be up to 25 sports. But this is important to say now because, as I said, participants, but also the organizers of our events usually, so this idea and passion comes from the people in orienteering, not from the university's community. But this link is usually made by you, I would say, in this case. So I think these dates are important because this link between the universities and federations will, one way or another, again come to you. So before I continue to my other part, now I will give the word to Dusan to present about the next championship, and then I'll be back, as Terminator would say.
Okay, thank you, Besim. Now I am the same person, but for this moment I am in different color. I am representing EUSA as a technical delegate of orienteering, and I can tell you some words about first ever EUSA orienteering championship, which will be held next year in Olomouc. Olomouc is a very known city in the orienteering world. Some of you remember from the World Championship 2008. Some of you remember this city from the University World Championship from 2014. The date of the event will be in the end of July. End of July. Unfortunately, there is overlap with the Oringen. But for the students from UK, there is no overlap with the Scottish 6 days. That will be chance for students from all of Europe to take part in this event. Some words about disciplines. We use when we starting discussion with the with the former technical director Patrick Perosha, we started with the idea that our program, like Olympic or World Games program, these 3 disciplines, sprint, middle distance, and sprint relay, will be the best for also for the EUSA orienteering program. In sprint we have 2 categories, men and women, the same for the middle distance, and for the sprint relay we have 3 categories, because for the regulation for the participants it's minimum 2 participants from each university, and it is compulsory that each runner have chance to running all 3 disciplines. Then we put 3 categories. One will be classical mixed relay, men and women. 2 legs for each runner, it means 4 legs, but only 2 persons in the team. But because in some universities there are mostly men or mostly women, then we also decided to add category that men and men will be one relay team, and also women and women. And why we decided for these 3 disciplines, it's clear. As I told, this World Games program, I think it's good for the promotion orienteering, and especially if we remember that World Games was, for example, in Taiwan or in Cali, in Colombia, there was no real forest, and when I saw the list of previous hosting town of games in second European University Games was in Rotterdam. And this is nothing against the Netherlands, but I think that in the surrounding of 50-80 kilometers from Rotterdam there is no forest, for example, for organized long distance race. Then we decided for these 3 disciplines. Rules and regulation, IOF rules, it's clear. For this, we have also not only me as a technical director, but by the way, for the all modes, there will be my assistant, because it is impossible that I will be as a technical delegate and also the event director. And we also follow the EUSA rules and regulations, and very important information that for eligibility the age is from 17 to 30. Maybe some of you know that the age, the upper age in the FISU championship is going lower and lower, and in the end, in this year there is 25 years, but in EUSA championship we have chance also for all people who are university students in the age under 30. Okay, now my microphone back to Besim.
Thank you, Dusan. Okay, so just one more note on what Dusan mentioned about the eligibility of the age. Yes, 17 to 30. It's important that those who will be aiming to participate are very in line with the regulations in terms of the academic eligibility. I think it's very important because it's not just the regular students, it's any level of the students, even if it's PhD, it's master's study, it's bachelor, regular student, irregular, whatever. So any link, as long as you can call a person a student in any link, it's eligible to participate. Same as for FISU, just the age limit is different. Next, I will present you our stage event. So this is generally in EUSA the most important event because all these championships are gathered into games, and we organize biannually European Universities Games with 9 compulsory and 3 optional sports, and 1 to 2 demonstrative sports. And from 2016, which we are very proud of, we started with parasports. So in Zagreb and Rijeka 2016, we organized 2 parasport events, paraswimming and paratable tennis. And why we are proud of this is because we organize this in full inclusion, which means rather than Olympics and Paralympics, when one event finishes and the other one starts, we organize at the same time. So for example, in table tennis, which is a 5-day event, after the 3rd day, on the 4th day, the parasport starts together with the last 2 days of the table tennis regular participants. And this gives us, I think, a really good, I would say, visibility, having this full inclusion program implemented. And this is definitely something that we will, together with European Paralympic Committee, try to develop even more and include in other sports also. So if there is a perspective from your sport in this area also, it could be a good step forward. Some of the event characteristics, but I think not the most important for you. So we started 2012 with the first games in Cordoba in Spain, with around 2,500 participants. Next year, then the second event was in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, and we had a bit less than 3,000. But then, because we enlarged the program, the sport program, we had 21 sports plus 2 parasports in Croatia. 2016, we reached the number of 5,400 participants and almost 400 universities. And this is also important to emphasize when I say universities, because in FISU, in the Universiade, national teams participate, while in EUSA, university teams participate. So this is the main difference. We are more oriented into the universities rather than nations, although any participation has to go through National University Sports Federation. Our last event was in Coimbra, in Portugal, in 2018. We will be announcing official data soon, but around 4,200 participants in 13 sports and 1 parasport. This was our biggest event in 2018. And our next events are 2020 Belgrade, which will hopefully be the biggest games ever, because at the moment we are announcing 25 sports in the program of Belgrade, and as it stands, orienteering should be included, but it's still not officially confirmed. It will be confirmed in the next 1 or 2 months in our executive committee meeting. And also we have attributed 2 other games, so 2022 in Poland and 2024 in Hungary. So until 2024 we have already attributed all the events, and first possibility to organize the games is 2026. And then again, in addition to what Carl was mentioning, and in regards to education, we also are very active in this area. So we organize different conferences, seminars, conventions, workshops, and as I said, we're involved in projects. So just some of those programs that we are developing: so volunteer program, internship program, development fund, so for the countries with insufficient funds to participate and which are ranked with the World Bank as developing countries, we provide development fund in cooperation with the organizers. So we provide this every year. We have a fair play promotion and photo competition, etc., and different partnership projects like in gender equality and coaching, youth employment, anti-doping initiative. And as I said, we work a lot with our partners, one of those European Commission, which we work very actively with, and also the European Fair Play movement. So the Fair Play Awards and projects are done together in partnership with European Fair Play movement. So I think video could say more words than Dusan and I could, so I would suggest if we could show you some images of our last games that we organized in Coimbra. And I would like to thank you very much for inviting us and for listening about the European University Sports Association. So I hope to see you soon in the future. Thanks.